Yeah, crime, Miami dates.
We're back in the office with a special guest, Miss June Savage. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me here to Mercy's Corner. I have to say that I love this setup.
Thank you.
It is so relaxing to come here and do an interview with you in person.
Thank you.
You ladies do so much for the community.
Thank you.
You have such a good following. You're honest. We appreciate you. You're tough on the politics and what's going on.
Yes.
Not just in the city of Miami, but in the Redlands, Homestead. You know, you're out there doing due diligence for the people that have to work all day and they can't. They come and they watch you and they become smarter about our city and our county.
Yes, because I feel like a lot of people don't actually know what's going on or don't know the truth what's going on, because everything looks pretty on the outside, but on the inside is when everybody's like, when I tell them, oh, this is what's happening, they're like, no, it can't be. It can't be. And I'm like, oh, yes, it is. It's happening.
Yes, and it forces people to care. When before they had no knowledge of what was going on. So now they become involved.
Right.
And when people become involved, they become smarter on their voting participation.
Correct. That's my whole point, because we need more people to get out there. We need more people to vote, or no, if they don't go out to vote, what happens? They lose 1 year now in the city of Miami.
Yes. We do have that major issue going on right now, where they voted to cancel this race that I'm in for mayor, city of Miami, and extend it another year. The election is still going on for other items. So people are still having to go to the polls.
Right.
So that's where it contradicts itself. Oh, we don't, Damian Pardo says we don't get enough people to vote. Well, that is not the voters' problem. That's the outreach of the people that are sitting in commission in City Hall, that they don't engage with the voters. The people aren't showing up because it doesn't taste good anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So now it's delayed a year. We're waiting on DeSantis to come, or AG Uthmeyer James to come.
The state attorney.
Yeah, and hopefully remove these people from office and suspend them, because they did it illegally. They did it without the voters approving it. So basically what they did is they took the vote from all the people in the city of Miami and said, no, we're going to vote for you. You cannot vote for another year. But they're gaslighting everybody. It's not true what they're saying. They should have gone about it the right way.
They should have made, even if no one shows up to voting, at least they should have put that out there to get people to vote. But the thing is that the city of Miami, not defending them, because I'm not defending them, but the city of Miami has a very low involvement with the residents.
But they're saying, oh, it's because it's not on an even year. Let me tell you something. If the residents were engaged with the people at City Hall, and things were being a different way, where you don't have to call them the Miami Mafia and all this disgusting arguing that's going on, people would go and vote. It's not the fault of the voters, it's the fault of the people sitting in the commission. We're still spending money to open those polls.
You know, people didn't know that that every time there's a board meeting, the commissioners are getting paid. They're not doing that for free.
So, you want to talk about payment? The commission, which is 5 people, they're considered part-time jobs.
Correct.
Our city has grown that the city itself and the commission need to grow up, and they need to be full-time jobs. Just like you work full-time, I work full-time. There's so many more people. There's so many more issues. You can't be full-time. I mean, part-time.
Part-time.
Yeah.
And if they're full-time, they can't steal so much money because they're getting paid enough.
Right. They can't say, hey.
Because realistically, if they're part-time, they're not making enough money to live, especially in Miami.
Actually, their assistants are making more money than the commissioners.
Correct. I was going to go there.
That's
that's ridiculous.
So, for example, Ken Russell wants 7, 9, different commissions and districts now, and all that's going to do is spend more money. That's big government. That's not what we should be about. We need full-time commissioners and a full-time mayor. And they should be compensated for that.
Right.
Before we start splitting the city up in more districts and then more people that can't even decide. Because the last meeting that I went to, the arguments that went on.
That, to me, that's unprofessional.
The decorum was so disgusting. It gave me a bad taste in my mouth. I had to get up and leave. I just had to get
A
up.
lot
I
of people are
couldn't-
saying that. So they're saying that they're fighting between
And
them.
that's why people aren't showing up to
There,
the polls.
correct.
It's not the fault of the voters, it's the fault of the commissioners.
Okay, but before we talk about everything else in City of Miami, I want people to get to know you because we don't know so much. I do because we've been talking already. This is our second interview,
Right.
But I want people to get to know you. You're born and raised in Miami, right?
Yes, I was born and raised in the city of Miami. My father was a general contractor for Babcock, and my mother was a stay-at-home mom and later on went to work as a teacher at Alexander Montessori. So I myself was a single mom for a while. I studied the arts with the first graduating class, which is now called New World School of the Arts.
Mm-hmm.
It was called PAVAC back then, Performing and Visual Arts Center. So I graduated there with Lilia Stefan. She's a friend of mine. She and I both studied dance and music and the arts there. So from there, I went on, thought I wanted to be a teacher, did some work like my mother, and then I had my own son and I said, forget it. I got my real estate license, and I've been a real estate agent for almost 25 years in South Florida. So if you know anything about South Florida, our economy thrives on tourism and real estate. So I have been in and out of every neighborhood in Dade and Broward and even beyond. Buildings, houses, negotiating deals. So I've been doing this my entire life. So I'm going to bring that to City Hall because what I do best is I bring parties together and I close deals.
I love that. But you were also running for commissioner.
Yeah, I started out in the commission race, and then it went to a special election.
Right.
I didn't really want to do the special election, and
You just want to go straight to the...
I wanted to do the long race, but I had a campaign manager who I took his advice I probably should not have at the time, and I got kind of a little bad taste in my mouth of the politics again in the city. You know, and I discovered how paid protesters happen at our city level. So most of the people you see out there with those professional signs or those t-shirts that say things, those people are paid to be there. And it goes all the way up to the presidential level. But we do that in the city of Miami. We have paid protesters showing up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So then you decided to run for mayor.
I decided to run for mayor. And originally, many years ago, when I used to do some work for Papi Suarez, Francis's dad, I was going to run for commission at the same time that Francis was. And his father personally asked me not to. He said, please don't run. I have plans for my son. And so this was many, many years ago. I mean, we're talking more than 10 years ago. So I said, okay, let's see how bad you want it right now. You know, I was doing a lot of work with the pedestrian cycling community. I was holding my own press conferences. And Papi Suarez said, you need to form a PAC, a political action committee. But, you know, at that time, I just, you know, I was married and I decided, you know, it's not what I wanted to do. But I probably should have. We'd be in a different situation today.
Yes.
You know, we wouldn't have people paying him $1 million to Rosado to vote, you know, against Joe. You know, these are the type of things that happen. When Rosado was running, he was given about $1 million from Francis and about $500,000 from Joe. All these couch deals go on that people don't understand.
Are you sure you're saying, like, you know, what is that correct what you're saying?
That's what it was. I sent you from Florida politics. It was divulged. If it's not, then it's not. But I guarantee it is because Joe is very hurt over that situation.
He is. You could see it in the video when he said no, right? He said no. No, he said yes, and you could see Joe's face how it changed when Ralph said that.
Yeah, there's a lot of politicking that is going on behind the scenes, and he divulged some of it at City Hall, where he said, "Oh, this whole thing is happening, so strong mayor is going to come back." You know, so you know it's really time for the city of Miami to just have a new slate out there, have a new face, a new opportunity, somebody that's concerned actually about our environment, the animals, our families, our children, our schools. Look, let's say for all the people that are sitting there at City Hall, it's still flooding in the city of Miami. Nobody's fixed the flooding. It's just got worse. We just call it now flash flooding.
Yeah.
But do we have our diesel generators already on reserve for hurricane season? No, we don't. And you know who reserves them all? Miami Beach, because they're ahead of the game. But just to let you know, someone still has to be there to turn those things on during a hurricane should the electric.
That's why I've been saying this for maybe 2 months. We want politicians that does more actions and no words. I don't want a politician that is an influencer, that does videos of working out, does video of doing it. I want someone to do the work.
SOS Cuba. Do you remember that? Do you remember? Does everybody remember how Salazar and Suarez, they ran and they had their SOS, let's have our party in front of Versailles and let's get some singers there, but nothing came of it.
Nothing came of it.
All they did was put a bunch of singers and talk about it, and then
that's it. They forgot about it.
Yeah. He absolutely did absolutely nothing. And what did Salazar do?
Nothing.
Oh, did the balloon with the internet ever end up getting people the internet over there in Cuba? No, it's just like a forgotten theme until the people are suffering and it comes back to us again. You know, and nobody executes. And that is a
problem right there. Everybody's talking, but no one's doing anything. Okay, so the city of Miami has a huge increasement of homeless. There's nothing has been doing anything. They only say, oh, when there's a homeless that we want to take her to a shelter or him, we call Francis Suarez, he tells us where to go. Okay. But that's not an excuse to why there's such an increasement.
The homeless is a money-making theme for everyone. And each bed has a cost. So Francis has a new little homeless company, a friend of his, so they're sending people over there. Meanwhile, Camilla's house, who has been there forever, has empty beds. I went and visited. They have empty beds because the city won't pay for them. It's all a money-making thing. I went to City Hall last week, and I fought for the Lotus House Women's Shelter to get $175,000. The people that go through that program, it's better than Section 8. And I told the entire commission that they should be giving the money to Lotus House. And it won, and it did. So I've been going to City Hall for more than 10 years, fighting for the people, for the commissioners to wake up. And I tell them like it is. I'm about common sense governing. You cannot get a degree in common sense.
Correct.
You have to be born with that.
Yeah,
okay? You can't go to Harvard.
It's a gift.
You can't work at City Hall for 17 years and have common sense. Okay? So I want to ask the public, you need to ask our mayor why he hasn't opened Miami Doge. Why we don't have a Department of Government Efficiency in the city of Miami. And the same with Cava. Why don't we have a Department of Government Efficiency? They're afraid to do it.
Correct. They are.
They're afraid to do it, but that's one of the things I'm going to do. We need to just clean house, streamline it, and execute. Also, let's talk about who my competition is. Okay? Let's talk about Emilio Gonzalez. Where's he been the past 8 years? Because he hasn't been at City Hall. He hasn't been defending the people at City Hall.
But he was the manager of...
He was until he got in a fight with Joe and people started accusing him of not having a permit on his deck in the back. And then he said it was because his wife was sick. So either way, he left City Hall and he's been gone. He ghosted. He ghosted the people. So now he's back proclaiming that... Oh, he's got to fight corruption at City Hall.
But he was the first one to do a lawsuit. No one has joined the lawsuit with him.
He needed that because nobody knew who he was. He hasn't. Nobody knows who Emilio Gonzalez is except for the old people who were way back in the day part of the Miami Mafia system. They are the ones that are saying, I know him, I know him. Well, where has he been? He hasn't been at City Hall. He hasn't been putting his opinion or the way that he wants to run or what is right for the people. He hasn't been there. And the other guy who from Sauceda, what's his name? The guy, the first on the list. Where's he been? He hasn't been at City Hall either.
So you're saying that the candidates that are running for mayor hasn't shown up to
They haven't shown up. Oh, and another thing, Ken Russell, Embarcado, he left and decided, oh, I'm going to try and run for Congress or whatever. And now he needs a job, so now he's coming back. But where has he been?
And he's taking advantage of the situation.
Oh, and now let's talk about...
You could tell his videos, they're kind of fake. They're like, they're doing this stuff to get... I don't know him. I have seen him a couple of times in events, not in the city of Miami. in the meetings. But I have seen him in his Instagram. He's popping a little bit more, and you can tell there's something that I don't like saying that he's fake because I don't know him, but I don't know. It doesn't look.
He's trying to bring his name back. That's all it is. Now let's go for the other white elephant in the room, Eileen Higgins. She's currently commissioner
in Miami-Dade.
You want to go on her financial record right now of what she's divulged, it's all developer money. Developers and people from all over the United States. Her honeypot comes from her campaign manager who raised money for Kamala Harris, for Cava, for Ramirez.
This is the famous Christian
Olvert, yes.
That everybody's been talking about.
Yes.
And that he's also behind what's happening in Blue Nest developers with the Redlands.
Listen, this guy is all developers. Just go to Eileen Higgins' campaign finance report and see it's developers.
This is where a lot of politicals get their money from.
Yes.
Behind the like they say, under the table. They get it from the lobbyists, right? And they get it from developers.
Well, unfortunately, our government is not run by our city officials that are elected. They're just pawns and they're proxy for developers. And we need to really, really take a hard look at ourselves when we're out there voting. You need to say, am I going to vote for this candidate that's just going to side with developers because they raise the most money? That person is not going to be able to say what they want to say.
Correct. Because
they're going to say what Olvert tells them to say and what the developers want done.
Correct. That's what happened. It's happening with Living Cava. When Otaola was running, he says if she wins, it's because she has all of these developers are behind her back. They're supporting her. And when I always say, when you take money, you have to return it. So how are you returning? Approving all this developer. Look at the Redlands. I cannot believe they're doing that to the Redlands. I still cannot believe what's happening.
I spoke to Carla, who runs Paradise Farms in the Redlands. She has 17 acres. And I showed her your post because you guys do amazing.
Thank you.
She told me a developer across the street from her 17 acres is building 36 homes.
This is where a lot of politicals get their money from.
Yes.
Behind the like they say, under the table. They get it from the lobbyists, right? And they get it from developers.
Well, unfortunately, our government is not run by our city officials. They're already encroaching on a woman that has an organic farm. You can look up Paradise Farms in the Redlands.
Yeah.
So they, the developers are not very kind. And the other gentleman in Homestead, that video, incredible. I hope everybody watches that till the end. I grew up here, and my father taught me about the land. My father grew up on a farm. And we never ate chicken because he would, as a child, he would have to go out and kill the chicken and pull the feathers off. So we never ate chicken growing up. But not only that, we have land in South Florida, over in Snapper Creek, that are Indian burial grounds. I know about the ecology of South Florida. I want to protect our environment. I don't want this to look like Cement City, like Wynwood, and have trees and bushes all from Home Depot. We need to start protecting our canopies because those tree canopies are filled with birds and other animals. So when birds sing in the morning, that is their circadian rhythm. We ourselves have a circadian rhythm. If we wake up to construction noise every day, that is not a proper way to wake up. If we don't get to see the sunlight, if we don't get to breathe the air, and what canopies do for us out at the Redlands, Homestead, Coconut Grove, and now in Morningside, Pardo is really putting a knife in the back of the people and the residents of Morningside over a sidewalk. They said they would go through with it. And now they just want to revise it, and he's saying no. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I've ridden my bike and I've walked through the city of Miami. Sidewalks can go around trees.
Yeah.
There is no reason to take down 10 trees. We can make a beautiful sidewalk that goes around them.
We have a park here in District 10 that does that. We have the sidewalks is around the tree.
As I go through Coconut Grove, we're losing our grass.
You are, and they're changing it to fake grass now. And Sweetwater, they started doing that.
Well, let me tell you what fake grass does to dogs' ligaments. Go ask a veterinarian how when a dog takes off to run on fake grass, and if it has some water or humidity into it, that can injure their ligaments, and they can slide. They don't get to grip like it's a ground. And besides that, it's a breeding ground for disease because it doesn't really filter properly. Come on. And it makes fumes in the heat.
Yes, that's a good point.
So all of these points are things that I want to bring to the forefront. No one's talking about our children. No one's talking about our playgrounds. And, these are things that need to be in the forefront outside of development and the price of living here, okay?
That's my other questions, but before, I wanted to ask you about the DDA. What do you think about that? What James Torres is doing about trying to get the attention of, trying to tax people down?
So for those that...
He's doing a good job. I don't know him, but he is doing a good job.
He's doing a good job, and he makes good points when he goes and speaks up at City Hall.
I was shocked that they took him out the other day.
Well, there's some other people that should be taken out of City Hall.
Correct.
So for the people out there that don't know what the DDA is, it's the Downtown Development Authority. It was started in the 1960s when I was born. Okay, when people didn't even know what downtown was, they were afraid to go downtown. There was no restaurants. It was just industrial. So over the years, it was meant to promote events to come to downtown Miami to create more of an environment, people living there. And over the years, it did its job. But now we don't need that. We have an overabundance of events, an overabundance of people coming here. So we are growing so fast, but we're not catching up with what's going on. And to dissolve the DDA and move it into the Bayfront Park Trust would be a fantastic thing. To merge it with the Miami Beach and Greater Miami Convention Bureaus, I think they should absorb it. Merging it with something is not bad, but isolating people where on their tax roll it says miscellaneous tax and they don't know what they're paying for. I'll tell you what they're paying for. They're paying for other municipalities to have like Orange Bowl money for events to come down here, and we're paying for those events.
We are,
and we should be paying that money for more police. I went to one of their meetings, and the amount of money that they're paying for these events, we could hire 4 police officers full time in the downtown area. We could have park rangers in our parks, and we can create a more safe environment because actually Brickell has become more residential, and there's families there. We don't have a youth center at Bayfront Park for the children. Coral Gables has a youth center.
Yeah, they do.
That's what we need.
They do.
These are the things that are in my mind and that what we need to do.
That's what I'm always arguing with people. How can you increase taxes and we're not seeing it in our city? I can't go to Brickell, eat in a fancy restaurant and looking down and there's a homeless there. I can't. There's people no, you look the other way. I can't. I can't eat a steak when there's a homeless there. Urinating because I've seen him urinating.
The DDA should not be taxing residential property. I mean, it should be taxing the stores, the restaurants, even if it's a penny tax. But it should be taxing the businesses to get the promotions for the businesses, not for outside venues to come here. The residents should not be taxed. They pay enough in taxes and HOA fees, okay?
Yeah, that's true. So now there's another issue going on in the city of Miami with the theater, the Olympic.
Okay, yeah, that's where it gets a little personal with me.
They're supposedly they're going to give it to Pitbull, or what is actually going on? Because everybody's saying something different. I haven't been too focused on what's going on because I've been trying to help the people of the Redlands because the board meeting is on Thursday. But after Thursday, it's on.
This is another reason why we need full-time commissioners and mayor in the city of Miami. There's so much going on, and we're overpaying staff. Staff make up to $100,000.
And this thing in Miami-Dade too. There's some staff there, and they don't do anything because you cannot tell me that Manny C is doing a job. I don't even know what he's doing.
So before we get off subject, let's go back to the arts and the theater. Last time I spoke at City Hall, I said to all of them, I said, you guys are not working. We have lost our theater and we have lost the arts since COVID. Because they closed down all the ballet studios, everything, because you had to wear masks and all of that ridiculous stuff that was going on. So they have not brought the arts back, just the Adrian Arch Center. I myself, I'm a choreographer. I was for the Miami Acting Company.
Oh.
It's a nonprofit with all sold out shows because I trained in New York with Bob Fosse's wife, and we'll go into that another time. But we're gonna target this, and we're gonna execute towards the Olympia Theater. So the Olympia Theater is a huge historic building in downtown Miami. It is a grande dame of downtown. I'm not opposed to giving it to anyone who wants to put a charter school for the arts there. That was not spoken of. It was just, let's give it to Pitbull. He's got no money. You know, our Mr. Miami. That's just another couch deal with Francis Suarez. Let's all just get real. Okay? I don't even know what color Francis's couch is. We'll just have to ask everybody that does the deal here. Oh, we should put a couch here and we'll start doing couch deal. So the Olympia Theater needs to be saved. We are losing our history here in South Florida. And remind me about City Hall after I'm done with this. I'm not opposed for them to put a charter school of the arts, a very limited audition charter school of the arts down there for children. But the theater itself needs to absorb those children into their what they're doing on stage. Does that make sense to you? Yeah. So it would be a win-win situation. But to just give it to somebody for a school and then, this is just an idea that got thrown on the commission, and we're just going to vote for you because the residents' vote don't matter again. You know, that should also be in the ballot. You know, if we're really going to have this election that's being taken away from the mayors and the commissioners, we still have to go and vote. So if people don't go and vote, all the other items are just going to wash away.
Correct.
That's like the red tide. Okay. So I wanted to talk to you about City Hall when we're talking about historic buildings. Our Historic and Preservation League, I believe the guy doesn't even live in the city of Miami. The president of it. I think he lives on Miami Beach.
Oh.
That's another thing. We have a lot of boards where people are from all over different neighborhoods that are not in the city of Miami.
A lot. Actually, I've been seeing this a lot. I even approached Alina Garcia, and she didn't even give me an answer. She told me I have to go straight to the state of attorney.
So check this out. City Hall is going to be moving in a couple of years over by Freedom Park where they're building the new building. They had the top off, you know, they did their little groundbreaking, I think it was this year.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
so they're leaving the city of Miami and they're going to
They're going to be moving City Hall over there.
Oh.
Once that happens, all of those people that are normally at City Hall, it's going to change. They're either not going to go there. But that's not the reason I'm bringing this up. The grapevine has told me that they want to put a restaurant where City Hall is. I had the caretaker of City Hall take me underneath City Hall, and there's a huge platform where like a 10,000-pound globe used to sit when it was an airport. And that structure is still there, and the globe is somewhere else in downtown Miami. What I want to do, and I'm the only one that brought this up, Eileen Higgins was like, oh, I can't say anything because Christian Olbert didn't tell me to say anything, so let's just talk about the environment. I said, we're going to make City Hall a museum. We are going to make sure that the Bahamian culture is taken care of. Our Coconut Grove is taken care of. Our athletes, our professional Olympic athletes that came from the city of Miami is going to be in that museum. We are going to make sure that the airport that was there, because it was an airport.
I didn't know.
Yeah, seaplanes came right there into City Hall. It was an airport to Cuba. I'm going to make sure that we make that a museum, not a restaurant. So come on, guys, get over yourself. I'm making that a museum because our children deserve that. We deserve that.
Yeah, we don't have no museums.
Right. Nobody talks about this. All they get done is, let's get some workforce housing. All that is government subsidies for developers and word salads.
So the Coconut Grove Playhouse.
Oh, I didn't even get to that.
I know, we have so much to talk about.
When Mark Sarnoff was sitting at City Hall, I was fighting to get the books opened for the Playhouse in the Grove.
But who lied about that? Because I know Raquel Realao, when she was going for elections again, she was promising everybody that she was going to save it.
Look, politicians wear flip-flops. They're chancleteros. Okay?
That's why we need to buy a chancleta.
And who did I say to get that for?
Hola.
Oh, yes. He needs to have a chancleta and throw it every time he finds somebody that flips. So politicians say whatever they want to in front of whatever audience they are to get the votes. Okay? Oh, speaking of votes, Eileen Higgins' guy, Christian Olvert, has another person that Eileen has hired just to go after elderly votes. It's right on her campaign finance. She's going for the write-in votes, the mail-in ballots.
Mail-in ballots. I hate those mail-in ballots.
Okay, so
I hate those. I think the mail-in ballots should be given to people who are disability or doesn't have transportation. But
what people don't know,
I hate those mail-in ballots.
What people don't know is some of this campaign money, they go over to these elderly buildings and they buy them TVs, they buy them Tai Chi classes, they get the ice cream in there. They're buying their vote from these
They do
people.
events and they buy them food, and that day they say, oh, before you leave, can you vote? Can you
Don't forget to fill out your mail. We'll help you. Okay, so let's go back to the Playhouse. How long has Francis Suarez been sitting as in government? Almost 17 years.
17 years, but between him and his dad, 25 years.
Yeah, and the Playhouse is falling down. How long has Raquel been in office?
Between her brother, now her, and then the younger brother that we didn't vote for him, thank God. But we put Ralph, that was a disappointing. I know, wait, I'm losing track. But they've been in power. I think they're the third longest family there.
Okay, so you have the county and you have the city. And the Playhouse is sitting in the middle. No one has been able to take care of it for almost a quarter of a century.
Correct. And then when she was going for election now, she said she was going to save it. And then when she got elected, she did a video with community newsletter. They walked in and they were showing how bad it was, the condition it was, that they can be saved. But why lie? That's the problem I have with politicians nowadays. Why lie? Say the truth. Listen, I'm going to try my best. This is
the thing. The public needs somebody like myself who knows how to bring people together, to make deals happen and execute on those deals. There's absolutely no reason why Francis Suarez wouldn't have been able to help fix that Playhouse and get it done already.
And to me,
wait a minute, you know what he's going to do? He's going to make sure that Freedom Park is up faster than the pool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The pool at Barrack Park.
For sure.
That damn pool that Ken Russell started is still under construction again. Okay, this is what's going on in our government. We can't get a pool done. A house in the city of Miami will take 2.5 to 2.8 years to get built. But Francis is going to make sure that Freedom Tower is built, and he's still the mayor.
Correct. And now Madrid, he wants to bring the Madrid headquarters down here. He wants to bring all these headquarters down here. For what? Why do we have to bring all those people down here?
Look, the door is open. I think he should just leave and go work for FIFA, because nobody wants him anymore.
Right.
He's not going to be governor. He's not going to be president.
No.
I don't care if he runs for the America Party with Elon Musk. Yeah. Vayase, we are finished with these families. You have had a quarter of a century in office. Things have not gotten done. And we are spending $1 billion on the Spider Bridge. Woo-hoo. We could have cured homelessness in the city of Miami with $1 billion.
Correct.
Give me a break.
Correct.
Give me a break. These politicians have to go.
They have to go. They have to go, and that's my mission.
The city of Miami was founded by Julia Tuttle, a woman.
Yep.
And it's time to wake up.
That's why the other day I was actually liking this candidate from Hialeah, and he posted a video saying that's how I interpret it, and no one's gonna change my mind. That women are made to be housewives. I was like, you just lost a supporter big time, because that is, to me, is a huge no. Why is this Miami falling apart? Because there's too many men. The city of Miami is falling apart because there's men.
Look, there's
too many men.
So yeah, listen, it takes a very strong woman.
It does. That's what we need. Strong women that know how to say no and know how to say yes, and when they say no, nothing can change your mind. Not even they put that little envelope with money. You're like, we have to, because it's falling apart.
But they have to be able to reach to the other side and make deals happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I have experience on an international level and on a local level that none of the other candidates do. And the people need to wake up. They need to realize that you need somebody in office that is going to execute.
Correct.
Somebody that is smart.
No mucha
common sense governing.
Correct.
And that's what I'm bringing to the table. I'm bringing common sense.
Do you feel women are being bullied? That's why they're not getting so much. Because look at Commissioner Castro from Coral Gables. She's getting bullied. She's getting harassed. Do you think that's happening to a lot of women, or just because of her? What's your intake on that?
I think it's unfortunate that women would get bullied, but I think if you're going to be in this government,
you have to wear your pants.
You have to put your big girl pants on, and you have to tell them, "Oye, falta respeto."
Yeah. Well, thank God she's confronting them in the record. I put it in the record. She's not doing it behind. She's putting it there in the back. That to me, I love her because of that, and I support her, and we need more women, and I know you're like that too, so that's why I'm always supporting you and Castro, because we need women like that. We don't need a weak one like Living Cava that wants to please everybody. Look how bad we're doing.
You can't like everyone, and everyone can't like
Correct.
you, but
and
we can all get
either.
along,
Correct.
and we can make deals, and we can execute. Like the other day when I was at City Hall, I told all the commissioners, "You're not working."
You do? I posted.
Oh yeah, it's hurricane season. What are our evacuation routes? How many people have pets? And there's only 3 shelters where you can take pets. We are going to have a serious problem in hurricane season this year.
Correct.
And what is Francis doing? He's making workout videos with Aiden Ross. Give me a break, Francis. Yes. We don't care. We don't care about your muscles. You should actually look at the picture of you when you first started. You were so good looking.
I know. Now you don't.
Now you look like yourself. You look like the Hulk. It doesn't even look good on you anymore.
Between the Botox, the filler, and the tanning.
Please. Haciendo el pincho. I mean,
what? Vince Lango's going the same way too. Talking about the shelter. Have you seen the videos I've been posting about the shelter?
Yes, actually, I want everyone to know that my dog, who's almost 13, is from Boxer Rescue. I believe in rescuing animals. And I myself, when I have gone to the shelter, I have to hold my ears because of the crying and the desperation of these animals. So I'm an animal. I have a parrot also. You know, you see me, you know. Even when I was a little kid, I had my gallina, and I would take her in a Publix bag to Miami Beach on vacation.
Oh my God.
My parents would die. I had a chicken in the hotel room. I also had a rat. I mean, I am a complete animal lover. Animals come to me, and we must take care of them because they are also from God.
Correct.
So that's another thing that we need to execute on.
Correct. If you get elected to be a mayor, will you be willing to work with ICE?
I respect our law enforcement. That is without question. And I have no problem working with ICE because I know that they need to get rid of the criminals. I know that they need to get rid of them first. Do I believe that a housekeeper that's been here in Coco Plum forever, or City of Miami, or no sé qué's house working needs to go? No. I don't think that if somebody that's working in a restaurant, no. A student, no. I think the more pressure we put on Trump to just to change that a little, you know, I think the more that we warm him up, and that's something that I would do. Look, my son's father his abuelo came from Cuba. I was here when the Mayoral was underneath I-95. That was Castro opening the jails.
Right.
That was bad. We do not need the criminals here because we don't need women like you or like me or like daughters to be abused, raped, killed.
Right.
No, those people have to go. Those people have to go. But the people that are here that love this country, that want to study and make a better life,
right.
I think that those people need a faster pathway, especially if they can prove they've been paying taxes or back into the community, you know, that they're I think we need to make a pathway with them. Right. And there's absolutely no reason why our current government should not be reaching up the tree and making meetings and making this happen, not protesting.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I understand protesting is all like fear porn and sensationalism for social media.
It's just in the city of Miami, the few times I've been to a board meeting, you have to be in the middle. Because there is a very big LGBTQ, the gay community is very huge, and there's a lot of
From ICE to...
No, I'm talking about the city of Miami. So you saying this, you're in the middle. You're not taking it too further with the ICE situation, because in the city of Miami, there's a little bit of everything. There's a huge gay community. There's also, when I went to the city of Miami the last time, there was people wearing shirts saying socialism is not a crime. As a mayor, will you be educating them that socialism is a crime?
Well, there's always a right and a wrong way to go about things.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I would have the final say, but what I would do is I would have a committee of advisors. And that's the smart thing to do. Because you don't know everything, I don't know everything, I can't pretend to know everything. But what we can do is we can take different advisors and create a different pathway that works for everyone.
I was doing mine, like, when I saw the shirts, I was like, this can't be right. This cannot be right that they're having shirts like that.
Well, I know that there are Instagram pages of even for FIU students,
yes,
for communism and socialism,
yes,
and that's horrible. That really is, our youth is very impressionable.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've lost our way from God. I think we need to bring God and family back
mm-hmm.
to us. And I think we can create proper pathways and instead of creating activists
mm-hmm.
That are going to be active in the government, we need to create activists to grow the mind, to better the person.
Yeah, I agree. Also, I know are you still going to be in campaign now that elections now until next year, or you're waiting for DeSantis and the state of attorney?
Well, I think Papi DeSantis is still coming.
Yeah?
Papi DeSantis is still coming.
So you're going to wait until
Listen, the beef with Francis Suarez and Papi DeSantis has been for a very long time. I'll never forget when I went to an FOP meeting that DeSantis was there when I was running for commissioner.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in the room and there was brass from Hialeah, from Coral Gables, from Sweetwater, from every single town and municipality in Dade County. And guess who was not there? City of Miami. I had officers calling me so upset. They wanted to go see DeSantis because he supports the blue. He backs the blue.
He does.
But Francis had told them to stand down.
Oh, wow.
The only people from City of Miami were two people in the back, not in uniform. Everybody else was in brass, was in uniform. They were there in unison. But because of Francis's cabezón hothead, he told the police to stand down. And they couldn't even go in regular clothes, non-uniform. Wow. And I have witnesses there that went there with me that saw this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is our mayor. You know, let me go work out with Aiden Ross, but our police cannot go see DeSantis, who supports them. At our FOP over there, off of the river, when he came. These things people don't know, and our police department is really, really upset.
Yeah. Over
a lot of things that are going on. You know, there's a lot that is going on.
There's a rumor about the police that supposedly there's like 30 or 40 police officers that should be getting arrested for the COVID.
The PPP loans.
Right. Have you heard anything about that?
Of course I've heard Of course I've heard. The police already know. Everybody already knows there's about 30, 40 officers that are being investigated for PPP loans during COVID. And I know that our police chief has asked for them not to take all 30 at the same time because we can't be at that kind of deficit.
There's not enough police?
Right. We've had a hiring deficit for a very long time. It's very hard to get someone to be a police officer nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's another thing I need to be working on. Instead of working out with Aiden Ross, I'll be working out with the women police.
Mm-hmm.
You need to show that. I'll be with children on bicycles, showing them how to ride bike.
Yeah.
That's what Get Fit Miami should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
I know.
So on what are you getting ready to wrap it up with me?
No. I still have 2 more questions. what are the plans for June Savage? Are you doing events? Are you gonna do fundraisers events? Because I want people to get to know you more.
I do have homes in different areas throughout the city of Miami that want to do private events with me in their communities. But I'm waiting for this DeSantis decision.
To see.
Yeah.
If they decide, okay, we're gonna stay, or we're gonna change it to next year, what are gonna be your plans? Are you still gonna be campaigning, or?
Well, it's going to be a longer stretch.
Yeah.
So it'll be a longer stretch of campaigning.
Yeah, and more waste of money too.
Yeah.
Because people don't know, but campaigning is very expensive. Very expensive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there really should be a cap on raising money.
I agree.
Because, for example, our boy raised $1 million for a $80,000 job. Tell me that doesn't look funny.
Yeah. Talking about what's his name, Damon
Pardo.
Pardon, your favorite. Do you think he's doing all this stuff because he wants to run for mayor?
I don't know that question yet. I do know that he is the new star up there on the commission. There was rumor that Francis is going to take away the chair of the commission from Miss King and give it to Pardo. Should Pardo vote and get this passed to delay our election? And then there was going to be some voting to bring back strong mayor. So all of,
you just have to wait.
It's unfortunate, but this stuff will all get washed out as Joe started to wash it out at the last meeting.
Do you think he's going to run for mayor?
Pardo?
No, Joe.
Oh, Joe is most definitely going to run for mayor. Yeah. But the question, it's unfortunate, is the general public willing to accept what comes, from their recollection?
Correct. He has a wonderful history.
I think a lot of people would love a clean slate. I really do. I think the city of Miami wants a clean slate. And they want people that are not connected, but they're going to have to get up out of their house and they're going to have to put that vote down.
Correct. The city of Miami, if they want a better city, they need to go out and vote.
It's not just for me and James Torres to go every single Thursday.
I actually don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair because you guys are representing for the whole city of Miami. So everybody should go. Everybody who went to the ICE protest, they're the ones that should be going there too. The same thing as the board meeting. That's what I talked to someone this weekend. You like someone because they're talking very pretty in the social media, but have you gone to see that person in the board meeting? Because when social media and board meeting are two different people. Two different people. Because I've gone to board meetings multiple times, and I'm like, I used to love a commissioner, and all of a sudden she will talk and say these things. I'm like, no. That can't be true that she's saying that. And in social media, you see her with her family, very nice, and she's one of them who wants to approve the development and the redlands.
Well, as we go along, I would like to have what's called Magic City Mondays, and that's a sit down, whether it's promoting a certain business in the city or talking about politics. But it's a Monday that people can look forward to because most people are at home, and on Mondays they would sit down and see what's coming up.
Right.
Or what has happened and what's new.
Yeah.
So Magic City Mondays.
I like that.
Yeah. And with you all would be fantastic.
Thank you.
Because you're doing such an amazing job. You guys have to share her information. What she's doing, not just with City of Miami, not just sitting here with me, but for the animals, for Dade County, for our environment. They're doing news right. And you know that we don't really watch the news stations anymore except for the weather.
Because not even, we have an app now.
our local news, I grew up here, and our local news used to be local.
Yeah.
And now it's just national politics.
Yeah.
So in order for Dade County, City of Miami residents to get local news, they need to watch you guys.
Thank you.
I'm being honest.
It's tough because I've already called communists. The commissioners of Sweetwater don't like me too much because I was the one who confronted them. I was the one who told them what you guys are doing is wrong. Yes, it's a private property, but you abandon your residents.
Look, if we can put immigrants in a hotel in New York City, I'm sure we could have helped those people somehow because people waste a lot of money in government. Francis wasted $1 million on Miami coin. And now he's proclaiming he's going to save $1 million by not having this election. So we're completely just washing our hands.
Every time I hear him saying that he's the one who saved the city of Miami from bankruptcy, it just
and let's talk about
just boils. Look at my hands get red because it starts boiling the blood.
Come on, and he didn't even apologize, okay? He probably could have gave $100 back to every resident that paid taxes.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what he could have given back?
Mm-hmm.
We're not there. I'm sure we have money there. Let's talk really quick 1 second about the FTX deal. That was Cava, and I guess it was agreed upon with Francis. I asked for public records request over a year ago. I've never gotten it on that because I want to know who signed off from the city of Miami agreeing to that deal. I know we have a city manager, but I do deals that have to deal with multi-million dollars. And what do? We put money in escrow. So you tell me how smart Cava and how smart Francis, our city manager, is to not put at least 6 months of those rent payments that FTX had at the arena in escrow to sit there in case of default. At least we would have had 6 months to find a new place. But instantly that guy left and we were high and dry. That was another bad deal by these government employees. And I'd like to know on the Freedom Park, what kind of money we're going to have in escrow on that. What is our safety net?
The Martin's Park? That's the biggest scam there is. That's the biggest scam there is.
Look, there's no reason why, we can't change the leaders that we have right now in government.
We need to change it.
And there's no reason why they should be afraid to have a strong woman like myself who's been doing business for a quarter of a century, 25 years, with attorneys, title companies, people, buyers, sellers. I meet everyone. I know all about the real estate, the HOA, everything that runs Miami besides being involved in our environment, which we've never built our little islands. Our barrier islands are our first protection of hurricanes. We've never built that up.
Yeah.
I went to a meeting outside of City of Miami, for City of Miami, regarding those islands. And there was a guy there, I still have his card, who had the barge and he had the rocks to go ahead and build up our barrier islands. But no, we had a paid expert who has, nothing's happened. And that was like 2 years ago.
Jesus.
So these are things that are not getting done at City Hall. And I can promise you, my dad raised me to finish what you start, to execute. And I raised my son that way too. And for those that don't know, my son, he's parte cubano, he married a little cubanita. She came from Cuba at the age of 9.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and she put herself through medical school. They both have student loans. Too bad Biden didn't figure that out and forgive the student loans. And my son put himself through law school at St. Thomas University.
Oh, nice.
And I'm a grandmother. And my granddaughter is 9 months old. We just had the baptism. You won't see pictures of her online.
Yeah.
Because we don't believe that little girls and little children should be shown online. Maybe if you have a private page, but I'm a public person. I can't show that, but I can tell you she looks like her dad and me.
Yeah.
I went to a meeting outside of City of...
I don't know if you want to talk about what happened this weekend.
Another incident. Oh, yeah. Okay. So running for mayor, City of Miami, I've had already some strange things happen to myself. I've just recently, on Saturday at 5 p.m., had a gentleman outside of my home, for no apparent reason, on foot, filming my house, my backyard at 5 p.m. on Saturday, and waved to the camera as he walked away down the street. So I've also had trucks parked out that are completely blacked out with the engines running, that my neighbors are even nervous about that. And I've been harassed online. And I've had death threats through those harassments online. And I know that this is the opposite party that does that. Because as you know, those entertaining flyers come where they bash the opponents. And unfortunately, today's temperature is to damage the other party.
Right.
Whether it's through harassment or other means. And I've notified FBI nationally. Our local law enforcement knows about it, and that's basically the way that I have to live, is always being on alert for somebody that wants to do harm to me, because I am a registered Republican and I have supported Trump and I have supported DeSantis, but they see that as a threat to their party. But I hope today, meeting people online, they understand that I'm about everyone.
Right.
I'm about one Miami. I'm not just about being a Republican. I'm not just about being a supporter of Trump or for DeSantis. I'm about for doing what's right. It's about moving us forward in a proper way. And you can see that our party isn't about the violence.
No.
We don't go out doing that to the other side.
Yeah.
So hopefully the temperature will come down. But, it's not cool. It's not cool what they're doing.
Right.
My son's probably going to kill me because I don't even really tell him that this happened, because
you want to scare him.
But there is what they call the Miami Mafia out there that doesn't want to lose control of the city of Miami, of the development that's going on here, and the people that are so calling themselves leftists and communists and all this stuff. They want to hurt the other side.
They do.
Physically. And I want everyone out there to know that if you know that this is wrong, so you need to stand up and you need to be vocal about this. You need to vocalize, because it's just not cool. It's not cool. My family, and I wear this proudly, fought for this country in the Revolutionary War. I am in the Museum of Washington, D.C. as a daughter of the American Revolution. So what does that mean? My family fought against the British for this country.
Oh, wow.
Lieutenant Elijah Savage. And they also wrote the Mecklenburg Express, which was the first Declaration of Independence. My family wrote that. I wear this badge proudly because I work with veterans. I support our veterans, just like I support our police.
I do too.
So,
well, we got to our veterans events. I love them. I
love our veterans, and I appreciate what they have done for us.
Yes.
So out there to the city of Miami, I love you. This is our city. It's time to take it back for us. It's time to take care of it.
Acciones, no palabras.
Sí, yo hablo español también. Besitos para todos. Nosotros son hermanos juntos.
Sí. Thank you so much. I was going to say in Spanish, but wait, my Spanish is not that great. So
your Spanish is no good looking. That's what I would say.
So thank you so much for coming. I know that it's been a very hard journey on you, but you have our support, and hasta final. Acciones, no palabras.
Thank you, Miami.
Crime, Miami-Dade sounds, news, business, the county, your entire city, politics, arts, and community. Everything that's happening in your area. Get to know, learn, and experience your county. From the local to the federal level.